So, as a whiskey influencer, I have a lot of friends who have a lot of great whiskey, and since I'm playing around with different formats on the channel this year, I want to try different things. I figured I would take you guys with me for an evening of drinking. I'm going to show you what I drank, and of course, because it's YouTube, I got to rank them. I'm Jeff, this is gwhisky. Stick around. So initially, I was going to call this video an evening with Jeff, but unfortunately that's already the title of my profile page on taipeistallions.com. So I will have to think of a clever name for this video. I don't have one yet, but you already know what it is because you clicked on this video and you live in the future. Anyway, this video is something new that I'm trying. Like I said, I want to play around with formats a little bit this year. You know, I might go to bars or whiskey events, whatever kind of special occasion, just basically get out of the house more. So you guys can let me know if that's like interesting at all for you guys. If you want to see more of that kind of thing on the channel, if so, you can let me know down below. But yeah, I figured I'd start with a video where I just kind of share what I drank with some friends in an evening. About a month ago, my friends and I took a trip out to the eastern coast of Taiwan. My buddy Vincent, great guy, he's got a house out there and he's got a pretty stacked bar. Vincent was super generous. He offered us a bunch of very beautiful whiskeys, and I thought for today's video, what we'll do is we'll just go through each of the bottles that we drank on that evening. And of course, as I said, because it's YouTube, because I'm a slave to the algorithm, we gotta rank them. Now, fair warning, I am going to be showing off in this video because, like I said, we had some wild whiskeys, and as a man of rather limited funds myself, it is always nice to hang out with people who are far more successful than I do, who have wonderful whiskey collections, and who are willing to share some of those whiskeys with little old me. Now, does that make me a social parasite? Yeah. But genuinely, big thank you to Vincent. The guy has a beautiful house. He cooked us some incredible food, and of course, we had some wonderful whiskeys that night. Now, before we do the ranking, of course, as always, I have a mystery pour in the glass. This is something that I have previously stated on the channel that it's one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. It's an Islay whiskey. It's a smoky whiskey. It's cask strength, and it's 13 years old. If you've seen those previous videos, you might remember what it is. Otherwise, you probably have zero chance of guessing, but absolutely incredible stuff. So stick around to the end of the video and I will share with you what that is. And I think that's it for our intro. Let's jump into our ranking. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so kicking things off at the back of this list, we have Subaru Maru 6, The Lovers. I'm not sure if I said that right. This is, of course, a Japanese whiskey. This is part of the Taro series. This one is fully naturally presented, and it's 48%. Now, this stuff is kind of interesting. It is from one distillery, but it combines two different styles of peat. One style of peat, which is the batch they distilled in 2020, aligns more with a Highland style of peat, while the other is more of an Islay style of peat. That batch was distilled in 2021, and then they combined the two. So naturally, this was a very smoky, very peaty whiskey. It was good, but it's made of 4 to 5 year old stock, so it did taste kind of young. Some people like that, but for me, I just feel like it needed more time. Still delicious. Next up, we have Longrow, the regular no age stated Longrow. This is one that I reviewed a while back, and I really liked it. I recommended it, and if you can get your hands on it, you definitely should. The only reason it's on the lower end of this list is because we had such stellar whiskeys that night. This stuff is peaty, it's rounded, it's rugged, it's got that Campbelltown / Springbank je ne sais quoi. 46%, I think mostly bourbon barrels. There might be a touch of sherry in there. Yeah, this is one that honestly I would have on the perma shelf if it was easier to find and well priced, which sometimes is well priced, but it's almost never easy to find. Beautiful whiskey though. At number 10, we have Octomore 12.1. This one is a 5-year-old. It's heavily peated. It's at 130.8 ppm, 59.5%, matured in first fill American oak barrels. And I like this one. This is beautiful, intense, heavily peated whiskey. However, for me, usually the 0.1s in the series tend to be the weakest, and that was the case here. To be fair, lots of people love the 0.1s precisely because they're more of a stripped back, honest version of the Octomore distillate. Personally, though, I do prefer the Octomore series when there's a little bit more flair, a little bit more influence from casks, but this one, still great. For number 9, I have Ichiro's Malt and Grain, the Black Label Edition. This one is a beautiful whiskey. What it is a blend. We have some single malt in here from the coveted Chichibu distillery, as well as a bunch of other stuff out of Japan and Scotland and potentially other parts of the world. They call it a world blend. We get a variety of cask influences here. There's American oak, there's sherry, there's Mizunara influence. This one is 50%. It's naturally colored and really, really good. In fact, I would say across the board, the Ichiro's Malt and Grain series, underloved, underappreciated. Yes, they are blends and they're bringing in stuff from across the world. It sounds like it should be this weird Franken whiskey, but something about that Japanese precision, consistently beautiful. Try them if you haven't. All of the labels do something different and they're all good. At number 8, we have a Mortlach IB from the first editions. This was distilled in 2008. It's a 14-year-old, 50.3% sherry cask matured. This one was nice. It was sherried, but it wasn't too sherried. And this one was interesting because, like a lot of other IBs, this one gives you the house style, but it also feels different. It does not feel or taste like a standard Mortlach. It's got a bit of a twist to it. It's more naturally presented. It's got a higher ABV, but more than that, they're not trying to align it necessarily with the house style from the OBs. So Mortlach, but different. I like that. It was good. Next up, we have Octomore 12.2, which I felt was a really nice step up from the 0.1. So this one, 100% Scottish grown barley, 5 years old, as always, it's fully natural, 129.7 ppm, 57.3%, 50% first fill American oak casks, 50% second fill American oak casks, and then finished in first fill Sauternes wine casks for 18 months. And I do think that all that extra cask play, and especially that Sauternes finish, does give it some added sweetness, some more fruitiness. This just has more going on. It's got more complexity, and it was a really great pour. Next up, let's round out the series. We've got another Octomore, this time the 12.3, which is 5 years old again, 118.1 ppm, 62.1% ABV, concerto barley from a specific farm on Isla, 75% matured in first fill ex-bourbon barrels, 25% matured in first fill PX casks. This one was the best of the lot. This one was more vibrant, more complex, more balanced than the other two. The PX wasn't too sweet. It wasn't over the top. It was really well integrated with the spirit. And if you're going to try any from the 12 series, I would recommend this one. Naturally, it's got to be the most expensive, but it is what it is. Next up, we have the Glendronach 21-year-old Parliament, which is a whiskey I hadn't come back to in a really long time. It was nice coming back to this one. Glendronach typically is not my go-to whiskey. I do think they make good whiskey, but it leans very heavily into sherry. The 21 was no different. This one is Oloroso and PX matured, but I really enjoyed it. This one comes in at 48%. I think the one Vincent had was actually an older batch. I'm not sure if it was Billy Walker era or not, but it was from back when Glendronach assured us that they weren't chill filtering, that their whiskeys were fully natural. Either way, rich, deep, complex, wonderful sherry, tasted mature, tasted old, tasted delicious. At number 4, we have a 17-year-old Macallan from Signatory Vintage, 2005 to 2023. Matured in first fill Oloroso sherry butts, 57%. Of course, all natural. Fantastic stuff. Now, this one is a sherry bomb. It's definitely much bombier than what you get with an OB Macallan, that's for sure. And normally, I'm not a big fan of sherry bombs. I have to be in a very particular mood to enjoy them, but I do like them sometimes. And I thought this one really worked because despite all of that cask influence, and there is a lot, we still get some of that beautiful Macallan distillate shining through. Really good stuff. This was a rich, full, lush, layered, complex whiskey. It's exactly what you want from like a well-aged, cask-forward, sherried whiskey. And honestly, I'm just glad that we're getting more semi-affordable IB Macallans on the market nowadays. It's a good sign. In third place, breaking into the top 3, we have Springbank 15, a classic. I've always loved this one. To some, it's too sherried. I like a well-sherried Springbank, even though I often kind of rant on overly sherried whiskeys on the channel. I don't remember specifically what batch this was, but I believe Vincent told me it was from 2022. Now, I actually have my own Springbank 15 on the go right now. Mine is from 2024, and I actually preferred his batch. I felt like with this one, the classic Springbank funk was even more in balance with that sherry forward style that we always get in the 15. And listen, Springbank is legendary for a reason, and it's not the last time you'll see it on this list. All right, right number 2, this is where the showing off gets next level. We had Longrow 21. Once again, I don't remember precisely what batch it was, but it was delicious. This one was 46%, as always, fully natural. It had been a while since I had a Longrow 21, and damn. Yeah, really delicious stuff. Posh whiskey, very expensive, presumably. Honestly, I don't know how much this sells for these days. I probably don't want to know. I never see it about anyway. It's not like it's just sitting on shelves. Yeah, it's one of those ones. I'm probably never going to have my own bottle, but if someone offers it, yeah. At number 1, we have another 21-year-old Springbank, which is the 21-year-old Springbank. This is one that I think prior to that night, I'd only tried maybe twice in my entire life. So it's not a whiskey that I know well. It's not a whiskey I can afford to know well. Anyway, fully natural, 46%, loads of fruity complexity around that funky Springbank profile, well-aged, very mature, very balanced. Again, don't know what year it was, don't know the batch, but yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. There was Nothing else that night that came close. And you know what? It's actually kind of funny because I don't love that the top 3 whiskeys on this list were Springbank, because I am of the mind that while Springbank is an absolutely incredible distillery, they make wonderful whiskey, the brand is overhyped, and we all know it. I mean, they've been hard to find for years. They've been overpriced for years. Secondary markets, I think they're sort of recalibrating now, but for the longest time, it was just this unicorn brand that no one could find, no one could afford. And I don't like when brands get overhyped like that. So I know that people watch my videos. I don't want to feed into that, if that makes sense. But also, I'm going through what I drank that night. As it so worked out, the top 3 pours were from Springbank. Not much I can do about it. Springbank is Springbank. They make wonderful whiskey. And that is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, different format. I do want to play around with formats a little bit. I thought I'd try something different. And you know what? A night out with my friends, going through the whiskeys we drank, ranking them, and talking about them a little bit. You know, it's a little bit more of a casual format, but I thought it'd be fun. Let me know if you enjoyed it and if you want to see more of this kind of thing. Also, what are your thoughts on the list itself? What whiskeys have you tried? What whiskeys do you want to try? What do you think of where I placed them? Where did I go horribly wrong? More stuff for you to put down below in the comments. Finally, if you stuck around for the mystery pour, as I said earlier, this is something I've talked about before on the channel, and I said that it is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time, and I don't say that lightly. I stand by it. What's in the glass is Bunnahabhain Moine 13-year-old brandy cask finish. This is one of those whiskeys that just blows me away every time I have it. It was not expensive. I think it was around $100 US, or just slightly above $100 US. I bought multiple backup bottles of this. This is a peaty cask strength Bunnahabhain. It is full, it is complex, it is absolutely packed with flavor. We get these really nice succulent barbecue notes in here, the stuff like bacon and charred meats, that kind of thing. Basically, anywhere I take this stuff, it ends up being one of my favorite whiskeys of the entire evening, and this was no different. Despite all the wonderful whiskeys we had, this probably would have bumped Springbank 15 out of the number 3 spot, maybe even the number 2 spot. I love it that much. I know it sounds like I'm overhyping. Maybe you won't like it as much as I do, but for me, just top tier stuff. Amazing. Anyway, finally, before we go, the OSWA Awards are coming up. The OSWAs, the Online Scotch Whisky Awards, are the most democratic and transparent whiskey awards out there, just at all. And they're worth checking out. So you can watch them go live. When is this? This is on the 1st of November on the Aquavitae channel, Roy's channel. I'll post the link down below. Go check it out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help out with the channel, I'll put Patreon and PayPal links down below. Patrons are over there. Big thank you to Vincent for inviting us over to his home and sharing his wonderful whiskeys. And thank you to you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.